Hello, and welcome to Wyverns and Weirdos Fathomless, tabletop podcast set in the world of Fierlor. My name is Darby, I'm your dungeon master, and joining me as always are Mitch, playing 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧, Jake, playing the Fishman, Joe, playing 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧, Laura, playing 𝗔𝗦𝗧, Zoe, playing 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧, and Eddie, playing 𝗔𝗏. Let's jump into it. Left off, the party were reeling, shall we say, from their departure from Fierlor, and were getting used to the sights of sailing in the astral sea. Among the other things that happened, 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧 was unable to save his brother's life, and 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧 was able to locate pinpoint the source of the flashing of the stars, and upon maneuvering the ship towards those stars, the anomaly began to encircle the ship before manifesting on the deck as a semi-familiar figure, that of Rue Friday. So Rue, you have been trying to push through, or you don't know how long at this point. And finally something familiar, something of Fierlor, started making its way towards you. And as it did so, you noticed more and more familiar elements to it, though you had not seen this vessel before. Taking it in, you took note of the figures upon its deck, and as more and more beings came to the surface, you recognize more and more of them by face. This is, for the most part, your old crew, and now you have manifested somewhat in this incorporeal form in front of them. How do you react?
I suppose after having been just incorporeal for so long and still mostly being it, Rue has been just sort of existing but not existing, floating around in this miasma of space, of time, of somewhere, unaware of where they are, unaware of what he is, very aware of what has happened to them. And I think Rue might have spoken to themselves while this was happening, or even tried to speak out to the void as this has been happening, but in this moment when they seem to recognize some familiar faces, some presence, some signals of people they once knew before everything changed, I guess the first thing they might do is that light, this raw energy that seems to be clasping into this vestige of what they were, what they are now, just flashes a couple of times with like bright pulses of light. Can they hear? Can they speak? Can they communicate in any way?
Yes, but you have a feeling that communication at this stage, in this form, is going to be limited. The more you communicate, the harder it will be to remain manifest.
But I guess as those lights pattern changes, probably as the others react, as this form finally anchors onto this port, onto this ship, you hear, unfiltered by metal and through reverberation, though still bouncing around as if on the ship, as if in your heads, this echoed voice.
Friends? Hey there, Rue. It's been a while, buddy. Are you real?
I think so.
That's good. It's good.
Where am I? Where is this?
We got a new ship. It's the spirited gull, 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧, and Fishman, and old mate from your island built it. 𝗔𝗦𝗧 is captain now, and we can fly, and now we're in space, and we came to you, and you're here. You're here.
this magic just continues to swirl around this strange shape.
Fishman will probably approach with a book open in his hand. Does this seem familiar to you at all? If ever, so slightly. And for those, probably those who would know, actually I'm pretty sure it would only be Alton that would recognize this book, is he's actually holding the diary of Rue. Because something to note, Fishman did get Rue's diary, and in it they wrote down basically the experiences from their own visions that they were having. And one, if not two of the visions are very, very similar to what's happening right now. Namely, for example, the next moment you see yourself atop the deck of a ship you do not recognize, your arm blade by your side glowing with a blue light as you are surrounded by your new friends, appearing to face down something in the distance. Would Brew recognize any of this?
The vessel seems to be akin to that of the one in your vision.
The light sort of flickers as if it's reading, as if it's like eyes skimming across the pages. The sort of red crystals, there's like shattered fragments that are floating around this like otherwise completely incorporeal form. Even those like little shapes seem to be semi-translucent, and I don't think anyone's been close to adamancy this strong before. Adamancy, of course, as we've discovered, is the material that makes up planes, the material that separates gods from mortals. And you felt a strong power, a strong connection whenever you're around Rue or something that was repelling you from them. But this is not a contained form anymore. This is not the same shape, the same creature you knew, but it seems to be, they seem to know what you have there. And then the lights sort of like flash more brightly. Oh, that is mine. And then very slowly sort of the light sort of like shapes itself. Again, it's almost incorporeal, but this long spidery clawed hand sort of shapes itself out of this light, and in a roundabout way makes a very basic sign that was taught to them by Kara however long ago, months ago now, in a different time, a different space, that just says, "How long have I been gone?"
Fishman will sign back too long, and then will outstretch her hand. If what I've read here is true, we don't have much time. Are you really here? Or if not, can you tell us where you are?
I'm not sure, but how can I help? And the light sort of reaches a hand out to touch Fishman's.
What does touching raw adamancy do, Doug?
Yeah. So, two things. Yeah. Fishman, because you can get the result for this while I am discussing the other thing. Fishman, roll me a charisma saving throw, please, for the contact with the raw adamancy. And the other thing is, of course, Rue. Well, you all see Rue's form kind of start to flicker a bit as they reach out to touch Fishman.
Alton would kind of step forward protectively, seeing like Fishman about to touch Rue, but also like looks concerned at the flickering state of Rue. It's like, I don't understand. Are they alive? Is this some kind of image? Neris, do you have any idea what's going on here?
I second that. What's going on, Neris?
I think the probably slightly flickering form of Neris as well, that's standing up on the deck. It's just kind of staring. I don't think he's really blinked or really drawn breath. And he kind of snaps out of it and blinks a couple of times. There's so much that There's so much that this could mean. I don't know.
Fishman, what was the result of your charisma saving?
3.
So you take 28 points of radiant damage as you come in contact with this raw animancy.
Whoa, all right, hands off. Let's not get too close.
I might, yeah. I guess, yeah, you might say that to Fishman, but he's not too phased. I'm not sure who was present when he last got fixated on something, but it was on the back of the boat with 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧, for example. He does get into this like trance-like state when he's fixated on something. So whilst you see he does take this damage, he just slowly lowers his hand as if it didn't really do much. However, his hand is incredibly... Well, I'm not sure what radiant damage would do. Kind of like charred with light almost,
Yeah,
I'm
so
guessing.
in this instance, it looks, almost as if it's charred, but rather than a black ashen look, it is almost white. So it's like a white burn.
How long has it been, would you say, around about, since we lost Rue?
Few months, because it was right before the time skip.
You've been gone for a few months, Rue.
And this form sort of pulls what could be an approximation for its hand away in shock. Perhaps the Rue of old might have shunted a red or a green or something in colour, but this is just this white intensity that you now have felt. And you can't really discern any kind of emotion, but it almost feels like alarm is just ringing through this, like bouncing through these shards of light, this refraction within the sky. And I don't know, Rue almost seems to like consider this. And then it's almost like you can't really see like a proper head, this is pulsating light, but it's almost like it seems to turn almost unbidden towards the projection of where 𝗖𝗧 is standing. And you all just hear this word bounce through across the deck. Was it worth it? And then it turns back to Fishman. It's like, I don't know how long I can linger here. And then again makes some sort of hand movement that basically approximates to, I don't know how much time there is.
Fishman will make a couple more signs asking, have you had any more visions? Have you had any more? Is there anything you can give us, basically?
Have they had any other visions, Darby? Has anything else kind of happened? Or they've still been existing in this like state of like listlessness?
Yeah. So, not so much visions, but something that they have noticed as they have pushed against the barriers of the planes of reality. And that is citadels at different points, floating within the astral sea. You've noted one, the closest you've been able to get back to 𝗪lor, orbiting the moon in a way that is not visible by regular forms of vision, but in the state you're in is currently visible. And then other similar but distinct citadels across the breadth of the astral sea.
And Rue still feels this strange pull whenever they speak, whenever they try to communicate. I don't know how much I can stay. I don't know how much I can say. There have been forms up here in the sky. Because I guess I'm incorporeal. Can I change my shape just to look more like what these things look like? These citadels that they've seen while they've been floating around?
So, the citadels are almost ineffable in a way from your standpoint. But what is particularly notable about them is that they give off a powerful magical aura somewhere between the familiar of animancy and the unfamiliar of almost akin to the divine, but at a level that even you is beyond even your level of power.
Trying to figure out how they might communicate that. Sorry, y'all. I'm just checking to see if any spells that might help with that. So did not know this was happening. Nope. So like, I'll edit this out just to get this clear, because like this is the first time I'm hearing it. Like there's these citadel things. Like, how would Rue describe this to people who haven't seen this? Like, what information do I need to communicate to them that can help the party currently?
They are locations of great power.
Okay.
Scattered throughout the astral sea.
Alright, and does Rue have any kind of understanding of awareness of what's happening to them right now, or?
Not really.
Okay, yeah. They'll just talk then, I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
So thinking back on what they've seen, the light seems to dim a little bit and then brightens again. I don't know what you call them, but there are places across this place, this plane, this time, beacons calling out, places of power, which would be useful to some of you, or at least of interest. I have felt drawn to them, as I have here. I don't know how much more I can say, but it is so good to see all of you again, and new friends too, I see. But where are the others? Where's Tibble? Where's Ham?
Ham. Tibble's looking after Ham, making sure it's safe.
Oh, I see. Hopefully Ham hasn't eaten him.
No, Tibble retired. Found a good farm for Ham to dig on. Was getting too rowdy on the ship without you, Rue.
That is a shame. I was hoping to see him. Both of them. Maybe again soon then. Perhaps I'm here for real now. I must apologize for my state. This is a little embarrassing.
You look perfect. If you're drawn to these beacons, if you said you don't know if you have enough time right now, but if you're drawn to these beacons, if we get to one, is there a chance we might be able to make you more permanent?
I don't know. Is anything a certainty anymore?
No, absolutely not, Rue. It's so good to see you.
I've missed you all very much. I am very sorry, Fishman. I did not mean to hurt you. Perhaps I should keep my distance for now. I've only ever wanted to help.
On that note, the form of Rue discorporates, turning back to the stars. But you all note there are certain points, pinpricks of light that remain and spread out, rather than to the nearby stars, almost go off into directions, almost as if they are pinpointing directions, destinations. And Neris, you are able to, with your mind attuned to the Spelljammer, you are able to note where those pinpoints are. As described, they are these locations, these citadels of unfathomable power. And the nearest one is by the moon.
Interesting.
And I guess as Rue dissipates, I don't believe Fishman got a reply in time. So yeah, he will probably put another hand up as Rue kind of leaves and goes, "You didn't." But I guess falls on deaf ears.
Rue almost, like, as they dissipate, almost seems to reach another spidery hand out, but then withholds for just that last moment before they dissipate.
Yeah, Fishman will probably just stay still, kind of locked in thought.
Has he gone, or has he just changed form?
What's going on? Are they still there? What's... Sorry.
No, you go.
Janice just looks with immense concern, both confusion but more concern as he looks over, especially Fishman and Loren, who look quite distressed and glum.
That was Rue. They're gone. Again.
Well, we weren't expecting them back, so that's something.
Yeah.
I don't understand how fates work that way, but that's... Considering what we saw, what happened to them.
Yeah, it is.
There's no way to survive something like that. Rue was obviously different to anyone made of flesh and bones like us. Perhaps they still have some consciousness. Perhaps there's still some part of them.
I mean, that could be it. There are some things, after all, when people pass on, if you have enough magic, or sometimes healers can perform miracles. Perhaps it's the same thing as if the soul's still around somehow. Points of healers or something like that.
Their soul's still here somewhere in this vast and unending void. We found them.
I think on that, Gulut, who had stayed where Loren had been standing with it, and just seemed a bit, if anyone had been paying attention to it, which I don't think, given the situation, anyone would have, it didn't seem scared or even all that surprised, but did seem quite curious. And once Rue is gone, it moves forward, kind of not really paying too much attention to the crew members around it, and it just shifts into the space where Rue had been. Darby, Gulut being the creature it is, and knowing the ways in which it's felt life and unlife, does Rue feel different or familiar?
A little of both. Rue definitely feels, their presence definitely felt like that of an entity that was alive, but not entirely. But at the same time, the feeling was not at all like that of undeath. It was almost akin to figures that you would have encountered almost in a long faded memory that you have a vague buried recollection of, but that you're not entirely sure of.
I think Gulut stands there in this space, this shimmering, I think only it feels, this sense of not quite understanding. And I think it feels a familiarity that it doesn't quite understand, and then a parallel familiarity that it does. This otherness, this not quite life. And I think it sees a reflection in this entity almost of itself, but where Gulut was created wrong, it feels like this thing was created right. And I think it stands in this space for a moment and then looks up to the stars.
Okay, well, team meeting. We're all here, right?
Yeah.
We should discuss everything that's going on right now. Well,
Yeah, absolutely. Aye, Captain. Loren wipes her eyes and just very quietly, as she turns around to Janice, it's very uncharacteristic. She pats Fishman on the back of the elbow.
Fishman won't react in any way. You can probably tell that he's present, but he's not probably going to be interactive unless absolutely necessary.
I think Alton was complete. He was trying to be like, oh, maybe Rue's still alive before talking to Janice, but for Fishman's benefit more so. And just gonna kind of watch Fishman consideringly think of what to do. I guess he will also just get out his healing pack and then just hold it in his hand and be like, Fishman hand, let's get you patched up.
He'd probably, reach out the arm, but again, that's the only thing that moves.
Yeah, that's fair. And I'll just nod in understanding and then just, start patching up Fishman. And that is 19 points of healing.
Tasty. Damn, you're rolling good.
Yeah. As you guys
damn.
level up, I can heal you more.
To note, Janice is very standing up straight, sort of arms folded behind his back now. He's very much feeling that a lot of people are in extremely low spirits. So he's sort of defaulted to quite often that sort of blank expression, and very professional. I was like, all right, so I understand we've taken a lot of low blows today. We need to discuss as quickly and briefly as we can what's going on. We currently appear to be in the plane above the sky. This is cause for celebration. We're still alive, I'm pretty sure. So that's a testament to the work of at least 3 of us. This may be a sign of what the anomaly was. If so, this doesn't exactly conclude the questions, I believe, but maybe worth speaking to 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧 about. Neris, if you wish to, since you know the most. Fishman, perhaps even, but it does not need to be immediate. The thing I am concerned about is, of course, what happened before we fled. That the Raider Phoenix and the people thereon are in league with this construct, 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧, perhaps seeking to summon a god or break down the barriers within. We have learned that those barriers are magical in nature and being broken down. The barriers are also connected to our friend, who may still be out there. I don't know what we'll find if we return to 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧 right now. I don't know whether returning to 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧 right now is the right choice. We need to find out what's going on, and we need to find a way to act. I am not comfortable working with anyone who seeks to undermine any of us. I have some reservations with how what just happened down there went. We will be reviewing that in the future. But now we are alive, we need to act and see how we can progress from here. But I understand we are all tired and things have gone poorly for us. How can I best help?
Firstly, I would like to thank you, Captain, for listing our options and what has happened so that we may all form one clear understanding. Secondly, I believe we have been presented an opportunity here. I agree with you, Captain, that returning to 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧 is a poor judgment call at this moment. I believe if we are to follow the path that has just been laid before us, we may not only be able to uncover what the future holds, but to also correct a mistake.
I think that's incredibly promising. If these are places that the Doctor has been drawn to, they are, as we now believe, comprised of the things that many of our enemies have been searching to harness. It would be good to get there first, if we can.
It makes sense. Beyond anything we want to do to get a friend back and fix a mistake, beacons of power attract powerful people. If anyone down there has gotten a whiff of this, it's beneficial to get there first.
The Red Phoenix and 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧 seem to have their eyes to the sky. I would not be surprised if they were also looking in the same direction.
Hey, we shouldn't underestimate Thunderbolt. She's smart, even if she is a fool. And well, if she's watching us from down there, her god's watching us from up here, so either way, it benefits us to be surrounded by powerful magic. Sorry, 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧.
No escaping it at this point. So it's a race to figure out what they're after and then reach it first.
Of a sort, it seems.
It's the way to go for it.
Wouldn't be the first time, I suppose, considering our enemy.
Indeed.
But we are in another plane. We are beyond the stars or amongst them. I would say this would be cause for celebration if it were not so dire.
And frankly, isn't the time when it's most dire when it's most worth celebrating.
Probably. Although if you bring out the vinegar, I think it'll become even more dire. He flashes a toothy grin at her. But it's obviously more of like a show thing.
She doesn't even really bother trying to grin back. She just nods. If we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, Captain, Director, we're nearby. Might as well. If everyone's consenting, of course, I'm just one voice.
Shall we press on or return? I do not blame either. I will not say that the road will not be easy, nor will it be harsh. We shall simply have to improvise.
As to that one, I'm really one for good ideas. If we can get this one working, no, that sounds for the best.
Good.
I do not want to go back empty-handed.
Good. We won't. Everyone in need who needs to take a breather, we will press on when we can. And Janice nods at Gort.
Look, it has been present for this entire meeting, and I think when you meet its eyes, you see a level of understanding there, and understanding at the very least that this nothingness that surrounds us is the way forward, and it gives you a nod.
Very well. Take a break if you need to. Notice when you're ready, we will have to investigate further. You can pinpoint the next location to go to. We should, in the least, investigate.
It's already done.
Alright. Can I ask Neris, are you venturing towards the pinpoint of the moon, or are you going to attempt to venture to one of the other pinpoints?
Neris is taking a moment to plot the safest yet most direct course to the moon. However, he will not act on it until given an express go-ahead from the captain.
Okay.
As we're all kind of taking a breather and as Janice is sort of preparing to go make that call, Lauren is gonna go up to him with a sort of affected swagger, hands in pockets, kind of ambling, kicking her feet out, kind of kicks him in the side of the ankle. Probably feels like a pebble brushing up against his leg. We should hire a musician.
A musician, eh?
Every good
He feigns going down to reach to grasp his ankle.
Aye. Every good ship needs a musician. You need someone who can sing shanties. I know good ones, but I can't sing, so.
Well, not always, no. You have a terrible voice anyway.
Exactly. No, we're liven up the place. And you've got a beautiful singing voice. It's a shame it's going to waste.
True. It is a bit of a shame without the sweet accompaniment of narrow voiced tin whistle and florets. I don't quite know what she called the instrument, but it did make a noise sometimes.
Aye.
But I'm sure this crew. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, you go.
But I'm sure that is a good suggestion. We'll have to see.
Stick it in the little suggestion box.
Ah, yes, no, will. That'll be my first idea, is to build a suggestion box.
She kind of puts an arm on Janice's elbow and kind of turns away from the deck so no one can lip read or just eavesdrop. You're doing a good job, Captain.
What was everything down there for?
That's my question. But that wasn't your decision.
No, it wasn't. What can we do but try?
Look, I know I said you were sort of a weak-ass piss baby for not chopping off anyone's toes to get your way brought home.
Yes, you have said it at length. Absolutely.
You're a good leader. And even if that face belies the fact that you don't think you're doing that good of a job, you're trying. What can we do but try?
See? I can't repel the wisdom. You can do good impressions every once in a while, but it's not Neris anyway.
Neris is hard to do an impression of. Every time I do it, I don't sound whiny enough.
You do a good enough job.
Are you doing okay?
No, are you?
Absolutely not.
Oh, well, then we are in good company, because I'm pretty sure everyone here is exquisitely miserable.
Beautifully suffering.
All pretty attractive, that's true.
Sorry, I'm zoned out.
We all are. It's fun.
It's not.
No, it's not. When we have time to breathe, though, then we'll see.
Did you ever think when you, I don't know, were a wee princeling dueling your brother or whatever it is you lot did when you're royal?
Oh, yes, absolutely, every day.
Ever dream you see it like this?
You know, I really didn't. I always had my sights sort of set on the horizon, but now that the horizon doesn't really exist, that isn't even the limit. Perhaps that idea could be endless. Might be frightening to some. I'd say our situation currently is oppressive and miserable and terrifying, but to me, it also just opens up so many opportunities.
You're pretty hard to frighten.
You'd be surprised.
Really?
Yes.
She kind of jokingly bares her teeth at him, and for a second their little canines elongate. There's like a little crackle of thunder. She just...
Oh, okay, now that is a little bit frightening.
You're indulgent.
Well, I've got to be, I've got 6 kids. I intend to keep quite safe, so I can just find out what to do. But, in time.
We have a direction. It's better than a while.
Yes, that's it. We'll just have to see where it takes us.
Do you think we can do it? I feel like it's, we've been around each other a lot, and we've just talked a lot around everything and everything that's been happening, and it sort of gets lost that we're trying to achieve the impossible here. And I know you're a man of impossibility. Do you really think we can? Sorry.
Change time, stop a god. Just a small list of things, really. No, I don't know, honestly. I'd like to think we can. I've spent 3 months hoping there's a way to change the past and unwind the future. But I've sailed through bigger storms than this. Perhaps. All we can do is try.
We get that on a wall hanging.
Maybe I'll ask Elton to embroider it, perhaps.
Get nearest to knit it in a scarf.
I'd like to be more optimistic, but I'm going to be realistic here.
No, it's good.
At the end of the day, I just need to find out who I need to kill to keep my family safe. And currently, one of them is attached to the man that's currently our director. So I need to find a way to just cut off that head one way or another.
Well, if the body wants the head severed,
That is also very true. We'll see.
we'll see.
Moon first, apparently. I've only ever seen as a big rock in the sky. We'll see. Go take a breather if you need. We will be heading out soon. Please look out for yourself.
I'm gonna go have a fucking drink.
Drink's a very good idea.
You can join me if you want on your breather.
We'll see. Maybe
see.
later.
Yeah.
And he pats
Thank
her on
you.
the shoulder. Oh, sorry.
No, good.
And he pats her on the shoulder.
Thank you, Captain Stormbreaker.
Speak soon.
Speak soon. She, walks off.
Speaking of drinks, I guess Alton would have ambled off to look for any kitchen or stores or anything like that. He's walking quite slowly at this point. He has reached 2 levels of exhaustion now. It's been a couple of days. But he will make his way to the stores and try to look through and see if he can find something alcoholic and something non-alcoholic. Assuming he will find something.
He'll find.
Yeah,
well stocked.
Sorry, Eldrin, I hope you don't mind your personal vintage being looted.
That was Garrus's edition, actually.
Alton doesn't know shit about drinks, so probably accidentally grabs a really expensive one. Then he'll go and find Fishman. Fishman.
Crow's Nest.
Oh, Crow's Nest. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, Fishman. Are you on the job? Can you come down, or should I go up? I don't know how great I'd be at that. I can come back later, if need be. I brought drinks.
Just wait a moment. I'll be down soon, but not for a drink.
Of course.
And then, maybe after a short moment, he'll come down.
That's fair.
I appreciate the gesture, but now is not the time, I'm sorry.
That is understandable. Want to keep your head clear for what might be up ahead?
Less so that.
Of course. I was just thinking of a little ritual that the Crimson Lakes used to have whenever anyone experienced any kind of loss or just they had a particularly shitty time of it. They'd all go around, have a drink to to remember, I suppose. That being said, I never really took part in that, or at least I had my water or my apple juice or anything, so nothing saying that you'd need to drink anything alcoholic either, if you wanted to take part.
I really do appreciate it, Alton, but it's not that. I do understand. I've already drunk to their farewell. Don't particularly plan to do it again. That doesn't sit right with me. The next time I raise a glass will hopefully be with them, not for them.
I see.
And don't take this as me abstaining from alcohol. It's just this is all that is on my mind at the moment. And I don't particularly want to take a drop until some time has passed.
No, of course. That makes sense. Well, I guess I can put these ones in the back somewhere. We can save them for when they return then.
Indeed. But there are lots of things that are outside of our control, it seems, at the moment.
Certainly. I have a crazy fucking world right now.
Quite a lot to think about. How are you feeling? I know I probably sound like a broken record, but I believe with every passing day, some fucked up thing happens to you, Alton.
Yes, yes. Sorry to... you don't need to keep, taking in on me. That must be really annoying.
Not annoying. It is concerning how often I feel the need, though.
I mean, yeah, no, I am pretty concerned as well. But... well, I mean, I guess I am free now of someone who, it seems, was never the person I thought he was. And just really tried to fuck with my life, so I'm sure it'll be good in the end. I wish it had been more intentional, but everyone loses patience, I guess.
Was it the right choice? I know it's done. I don't often look in hindsight, but this one's sticking.
Getting him. Sorry.
Well, fuck.
I mean, yes, he was an extreme threat. Very powerful. And I think that was a wise decision to make. Can I ask, though, is that arrow, did you buy it with him in mind? It was a good purchase. He turned out to be very powerful.
It did come in handy. I had some idea of what I wanted to use it for, but Valen was not that reason. But I am glad that I did get it.
Simulation, maybe? Well, I appreciated you using it to protect me. Did you retrieve it, actually? Maybe it could be used again.
It cannot, unfortunately. It can be used in the sense that it is now just a bolt.
Makes sense.
It is the magic of it. And he'll bring out maybe a bolt of dragon slaying. It only gets consumed if it actually draws blood, if it hits its mark. But once it does, it turns mundane.
Oh, of course. Yes, I think my family was trying to work on making ones that had more uses in them. Back in the day. Good little weapon, though, still.
Is anyone else on deck? Actually, no, Fishman knows the helm, so... you will find that when you keep on questioning about this bolt, that Fishman is reluctant to answer any further. It almost pains him to give the responses that he already has.
Inside joke.
He's not in the... Unless you do really poorly, he's not really in the state to be hiding many things.
I did do really poorly. It's fine. I mean, for efficiency, or something that was a 6.
6. I mean, yeah, you could probably tell that there's something stopping him from answering your question, but you're not sure what the intent is.
Excellent. Okay. Guess I'll file that one away.
Your brother. What's next?
I don't know. I guess I'll just try to take down 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧, try to bring back Rue, try to save the planes from being torn apart.
A little more right now, I mean. And if you don't want to talk about it, let me know. But we do have a dead body aboard this vessel.
That's a good
And they
point.
are family, regardless of whether or not how they behave.
Yeah, he just kind of closes his eyes. Like, he's probably going between being like, or like jokey, I guess, kind of that he is, or just like clearly grief being visible, just like kind of mixing between, clearly not sure how to feel. But like, all right. I don't suppose we have any like cremation services. That was the typical way in my home city.
Wouldn't suggest we do it on the boat either. Sorry, the ship.
It works well. It, causes a bit of chaos.
Has the boat changed? Sorry, has the ship changed direction since, or has that order not been given yet?
I don't believe. Yeah, I don't think it has been given unless Janice is giving it now.
All good.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joe. Keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we are in kind of a tough place.
I'm not sure when we'll make landfall, but hopefully soon, and then we can make the decision then.
Well, so otherwise, screw sentiments. He is a fucking monster. We can just throw him off board. Throw him off the ship.
Would that be what you want?
I don't know. It's not really new, the whole him having been just absolutely horrible all along, trying to get me killed so much. Yeah. So like most people that do that kind of thing, I would have shot dead in an instant. That would have been my whole goal.
Well, then why keep him alive? I have seen you shoot numerous times, and those shots you fired were not for the kill.
Don't know, I just guess I'm getting very soft.
Is it because you are a medic, or was it because they were still your brother?
He's like, I was trying to think this through. I'd imagine they're probably gone somewhere like mildly more private, just like away from other people.
Yeah, honestly, like where Fishman will be going with this is he would like to go back to that room, to the medical room.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Don't know, it's just, it feels very stupid, very soft, but I don't know. I just guess in that moment I didn't want to kill anyone.
It is strange what can happen in a moment, isn't it? As he raises his hand.
That's right. When I lived with him, I hadn't killed anyone. I didn't want to kill anyone. So I guess I just shot back to that time.
I wanted to keep him alive if I could, for information.
That's also a smart decision, yes.
But also, when I saw you pull your punches, that made it even more important. So I do apologize for what happened, because not only was it that I did the final blow, I also did, essentially, the fatal blow.
Thank you, but no, there's no need to apologize. It makes sense. I don't know what we could have done with him in the end. He probably would have had to die in the end. For me for not healing him quicker, I don't blame you.
I don't think you should blame yourself either. It's his fault for getting on the boat. Ship, sorry. That being said, and it might be insensitive to ask, but I would like to go through their things.
Well, that
That'd be okay with you?
Yeah, makes total sense. I feel like he'd do that to us too. In this situation, unless he didn't want to dirty his hands or something. Make one of his corpses do it instead.
Indeed. Very wicked man.
Oh, good luck to that.
But would you mind joining me as well? Just in case. I don't know what kind of magic that man had on him.
Yes,
But I'd rather not be alone. But if you're not comfortable, I can do it another time.
No, that should be fine. I'll come along.
Can Fishman please have a look through his things with Alton? Did he have anything on his person? And he will have, again, detect magic up if he can.
Yeah. Roll me an investigation check with advantage for Alton's assistant.
Been rolling so well recently. So let's see how we go. I rolled a 5 and a 6, so that's a 5.
Okay.
Because it's a -1.
So, yeah, there's nothing you can make out as having any sort of importance or value on the body.
Interesting. It's very unlike him to be unprepared.
Certainly. Oh, that reminds me, I thought he was just rambling or something of the sort, but he said that death wouldn't be any end for him. He was talking about his goals for working for Exley and such as being for immortality, but he implied that he had backups here if he was slain here.
I've checked this body with detect magic, and I don't believe he has any spell that would revive him here, or at least this body. So, would Fishman know about, I can't remember the word for it, but like lich?
Liches and simulacrums.
Yes, yeah.
Same version.
Roll me an Arcana check.
9.
15.
Fishman, you're aware that liches are a thing, but you don't know much about them beyond their creepy undead wizards, typically.
Spooky.
Alton, you know a little bit more. You know that from a more medical perspective, you know that if this were the body of a lich, it would not be in the condition that it's in. This body has not been deceased long enough to be attached to any form of undeath.
Okay.
Can I get you to roll me a medicine check as you go through the investigation?
Nice. 17.
17. So you do notice, let me double check, as you're going through and examining the body, that there is about 1.5 inches long scar across his abdomen.
What would this imply? Does this remind me of anything?
It does not. But the scar seems reasonably fresh. Seems to be fresh enough to have healed within the past year.
Mitch looks so knowing and I hate it. I have no idea what's going on. Okay.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Well, he doesn't seem to have any undead nature to him. That's strange. He's had surgery. Just like, well, he's had his gallbladder out. I don't know.
I mean, the position of the scar is not one where you would expect to be for any form of surgery.
Yeah, it's an odd spot for it.
I mean, surgeries aren't necessarily for taking things out. It can be also for putting things in. Is there a risk here?
There's
I
something
can't
in
see
there.
anything magical, but yeah, I'm not sure if we want to go down this route. Just like it might be a little bit too grotesque. I don't know, but yeah.
I will inspect
That's where I'm
it.
going
I'll
in my head.
feel it. Is there anything there?
No?
Okay.
Regardless, I believe Fishman saw Cerise come back.
Yeah.
Because he was in the helm by that point.
Yes.
As well. I saw Cerise get struck down, and then I saw them come back.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be far off to say that the same is possible for Phelan?
I suppose that's true. Should we try to keep him guard on him or something? Put
I mean, I was
protections.
ready to throw him off this boat, honestly. Shit, sorry.
No, that's definitely still, that's an option.
Do we do it?
Oh, sure. Yeah, all right. He'll grab his drink. His I don't know, apple juice, and crack open the bottle, take a sweet, raise it up and be like, "Great, cheers for finally casting off my family name." And yes, guess I'm the number one of the family now. Only living member. Take that, Vader.
I guess, yeah, Fishman will pick him up and go to the side of the deck, I guess.
Oh, Jesus. Alright. Does anyone see us doing this?
Yeah, Neris does.
Neris has, sort of limited omniscience as far as the ship is concerned at the moment. So yeah,
Is there a beamed in Neris at any point during this?
He just accepts it.
Alright. I guess, yeah, as they get to the side of the deck, any parting words?
Sure. Vaden, you were like a cool older brother who actually seemed to give a shit about me when no one else did, which was really nice of you. And thank you for saving me from Fasis whenever she would torment me and stuff. But also turns out that you were fucking lying about everything, so actually fuck you about that. Go rest in hell, I suppose. Aye. Those good parting words.
Very good parting words. And then, yeah, I guess if Fishman can, just yeet him off the side of the boat, please. Ship, sorry. It's a problem. I cannot call this vessel a ship.
And that's that on my legacy.
and as the body drifts off and floats through space, the camera focuses on the body just drifting off. And that's where we're going to leave it for this week's episode.
Note to self, there is no safety mechanism if you fall off the boat.
No.
Oh dear. Well, we're testing things quickly.
Ship, sorry.
Have a wonderful week, everyone. Remember to like and subscribe. Let us know what you think. Thank you for following us so far. We really love you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Mitch, tell us what you know.
What do you know?
What do you
just
know?
Enjoying the
No.
I think Mitch knows what is going on.
Mitch knows what Mitch knows.